Be cool, be kind, be classy. A cupcake so sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. Not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade, sipping motions and lemonade. Cool heads will prevail, kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. Is a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Stack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Machegas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcake's sweet and sassy. Not just a YouTube show. When you know, cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me tonight. Today is Hump Day, Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. And wow, the summer's almost over, huh? Summer's almost over. I don't know. I just linked my camera before I came on, so give me a second. I don't know what I'm doing today. One of those days where you just can't get your act together. You know those days? That's today. That's today for me. And this morning I woke up to this tragic news coming out of Montauk, and I fell into the rabbit hole. And so today, at least for the next hour, we're coming back to New York today. I know we've been in Massachusetts for many months and years, it feels like, but today we're coming back to my backyard. We're coming back to my backyard, Long Island, New York, where I'm going to tell you about a tragic story involving a young girl, 33 years old, an Ireland native. She had moved here to the U.S. when she was 26, and she was found dead yesterday on a boat that was docked at the Montauk Yacht Club in Montauk. There's so many conflicting stories about what happened to her. And I don't think we're going to know a lot yet, but I'm going to tell you all the conflicting stories because I did fall into the rabbit hole today, as I normally do. First thing we're going to do before we get to I'll tell you the story, and then I'll let the news tell you the story, and then we'll look at the Daily Mail, and then we'll look at the New York Post, and then we're going to look at Martha's website for the clothing brand that she designed. And we're going to take a look at Gurney's, and we're going to take a look at the Montauk Yacht Club. Montauk is like the Hamptons, right? It's the East End. Anybody ever watch the TV show The Affair? The Affair took place in Montauk. It's the very, very tip of Long Island on the South Shore. There is a ferry from Montauk that goes to Block Island, which we talk about a lot too. Martha Nolan. She has a hyphenated last name. She goes by Martha. She went by Martha Nolan, but her hyphenated name was Martha Nolan O'Slattera. O''Slattera. Originally, and Nicola, if I pronounce this wrong, you can tell me, from Carlow, Carlow in Ireland. She studied commerce at the University of Dublin, the University College Dublin, before she earned a master's degree in digital marketing from the Smurfit Business School. And when she was 26 years old, she came to the U.S. driven by ambition and a clear vision for success. About 3 years ago, she started her own clothing line called East by East, and she had just been celebrating a pop-up store at Gurney's from her TikTok, actually, that I found from July 1st. I'm going to let Martha introduce herself to you. This is from her TikTok as well. Not sure when this was posted. This is from April 2nd of 2024, but let's let Martha introduce herself to you. I have the Suffolk County PD hotline scrolling along the bottom if anyone has any information about what happened to Martha yesterday night. It was just yesterday around midnight, August 5th. The phone number is 631-852-6392. They are looking for any and all tips. At this time, Suffolk County Homicide is still investigating.
Hello. My name is Martha. I am the founder and CEO of East by East. I said I'd sit down today and have a little story time with you guys. Just to give you a bit of background on the brand. I haven't really come on here and introduce myself. So East by East, it is a resort wear brand. East by East stands for New York for the Hamptons. Our tagline is built in the city, made for the sun. I absolutely adore it. I think it resonates with so many people on so many levels because I feel at some point everyone in their lives are, grinding, city life, but everyone's just destined for the sun. I know I am.
Stunning, isn't she?
And pretty much everyone else is. So I think it's very fitting. And yeah, we specialize in men and women's bikinis, swimwear, sunglasses, and we are now branching out into resort wear. We already have a linen line and a terry cloth line, and we had some unique pieces for the store in Montauk that we had last summer, such as like silk dresses, everything, but we are now launching a resort wear line and I am super excited about it. The dresses are super cute, but obviously this process takes a long time, so the timeline for launch is to be confirmed. But yeah, we launched about 2 years ago, and we had our first retail location pop up in Montauk, in the Montauk Beach House. And yeah, we'll be going back there this summer, so you will see us there. We'll be doing some brand activations, some brand partnerships, some like wellness stuff, and we will also, of course, throw some parties, some pool parties, with really cool DJs. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And obviously I'll be coming on here more, telling you more like news, behind the scenes stuff, and yeah, just follow through with the journey. It's a roller coaster of challenges and triumphs, and I want to share it with all you beautiful people.
Thank you. This is the pop-up store, but I cannot play the sound on this because of the music, so YouTube will strike me. So just oops. Oh, stop. Gwen Stefani. I don't know how to mute this. Hold on. All right. Well, no, stop. Okay. I'm going to just enlarge it. It's just going to show the pop-up store that she had. This was as of July 1st. She had a pop-up at Gurney's Inn in Montauk, which is one of the there are not a lot of high-end resorts in the Hamptons. Let's put it that way. There are not a lot of them. And so Gurney's is the one. It does not want to enlarge for me. So I'm going to play without the sound anyway. Gurney's is the one. I actually looked up the rates that they're sold out this weekend. But if you wanted to go there next weekend, it's about $1,800 a night for a regular room. And there's a 3-night minimum. And it says POV, the brand you started 3 years ago has a pop-up in the Hamptons. And there it is. She was 33 years old. She looks so much younger, doesn't she? Absolutely incredible. Started this fashion line 3 years ago. We're going to take a look at the website because it's really cute stuff, really cute bikinis. She was living an Instagram perfect life. And this is really sad. Here's the News 12. This is our local news. We don't have a lot of local news. We don't have any local news on Long Island. We have News 12. This is what we've got. And we're kind of stuck with it. And so I always like to go for a local news to the local station. So I'm going to give News 12 a whirl. And here is their story from about 10 hours ago.
Latest in a homicide investigation in Montauk. To the latest in a homicide investigation in Montauk. Police are now identifying that woman found dead on a boat as 33-year-old Martha Nolan O'Slattera, a fashion designer from Manhattan. Now, you heard first here on News 12 yesterday morning. She was found on a boat docked at the Montauk Yacht Club on Star Island.
Montauk.
East Hampton Town Police responded to a 911 call just after midnight for an unconscious woman. She was pronounced dead on the boat shortly after.
That's pretty troubling in, such a small town. Everybody's here to have a good time. I mean, it's a shame that, something like that happens. Makes you kind of nervous, what's going on in the area.
Who goes by Martha Nolan on her LinkedIn page, is the founder of the clothing company East by East. It's swimwear and resort wear out in the Hamptons and in Manhattan. Managers of the Montauk Yacht Club asked News 12 to leave the property and declined to
Get
comment.
off.
Police say a preliminary investigation did not determine a cause of death. Now an autopsy is being conducted.
Yeah, the Montauk Yacht Club was like, get out of here. The Montauk Yacht Club has been around since like the 1920s. And they've had like members such as like J.P. Morgan and the Astors and the Vanderbilts. I mean, it's an old money, old world type club. They also have at the Montauk Yacht Club, they have rooms you can stay there. They have slips. They have transient slips. So you can just bring your boat for the day. You can bring your boat for the weekend. The autopsy is pending, but according to the Suffolk County PD, the press release, their first press release from yesterday said, Suffolk County Police, let me pull this up for you. I know you like receipts, and so do I. Here's the original release. Suffolk County Police Homicide Squad detectives are investigating after a Manhattan woman was found dead on a boat docked in Montauk this morning. East Hampton Town Police responded to a 911 call from a man reporting a woman unconscious on a boat docked at the Montauk Yacht Club on Star Island Road at approximately 12 a.m. Good Samaritan attempted to perform CPR. Good Samaritans. And see, we also have a hospital here called Good Samaritan Hospital, and it's capitalized in this press release, which is stupid because they just mean to say that Good Samaritans who were in the area of where the boat was attempted to perform CPR on the woman. Martha Nolan O'Slattera, 33 of Manhattan, was pronounced dead on the boat by first responders. The preliminary investigation and exam were inconclusive regarding the cause of death, which will be determined by an autopsy conducted by the Suffolk County Medical Examiner's Office. Anyone with information on this incident is asked to call Homicide Squad detectives at 631-852-6392. I also have that phone number scrolling along the bottom. And there was an update that was posted right before I came live that says an autopsy conducted on Martha Nolan O'Slattera, the woman found dead on a boat in Montauk on August 5th, did not show evidence of violence, and her final cause of death is pending further examination. I would submit to you that just because a cause of death, or just because her autopsy did not show evidence of violence, that does not mean something nefarious did not happen to her. And that will remain to be seen. According to the New York Post, which I need to do in reader view because, as you know, the pop-ups are horrific. New York Post has already dropped about 10 stories on this case, but this was the first one that I saw earlier today. New York City designer Martha Nolan ID'd as woman found dead on Montauk boat as residents report late night screams. The woman found dead on board a boat in Montauk on Tuesday night was identified by authorities as a beloved local designer from Manhattan who spent her summers working on the East End. Martha Nolan O'Slattera was found unconscious on a vessel docked at the Montauk Yacht Club at approximately 12 a.m., according to the Suffolk County Police. And here's a picture of Martha on a private jet. The 33-year-old who went by Martha Nolan professionally and in social circles was pronounced dead at the scene by first responders. Her cause of death is still under investigation and will be determined by the Suffolk County Medical Examiner's Office. And we just saw the update that said that there didn't seem to be any violence involved. Members of the Montauk Yacht Club, including some captains, heard screaming from the docks late Monday, one club member told the Post. Another anonymous member of the yacht club remembered Nolan fondly. Here's a picture of the boat. The boat is called Ripple. That's a nod to the Grateful Dead. And you know I'm a deadhead, and you know that it is, because first of all, Ripple is the name of a song, a Grateful Dead song. And there's a Steely right there on the boat as well, which is the Grateful Dead symbol. And it is out of Long Beach, New York, which is also on Long Island. Another anonymous member of the yacht club remembered Nolan fondly. Yeah, it is a small boat. I don't even think there's a sleeping cabin on that boat. Unless it's underneath. Here's an overhead shot of the Ritzy Yacht Club, the Montauk Yacht Club. And it says, members of the Ritzy Yacht Club claim they heard screaming the night before Nolan's body was found. Quote, she was well known in the community. She was very friendly, always smiling, the person said, adding there's going to be a lot of conversation out of this. Nolan was a marketing consultant, entrepreneur, and founder of a fashion brand, East by East, according to her LinkedIn. Here's a picture of the Suffolk County Police unit, homicide unit at the scene, homicide squad. The Ireland native moved to the U.S. at the age of 26 and started launching pop-ups with her summerwear brand East by East in the Hamptons in 2023, she told the Irish Independent in a profile last year. Montauk residents told the Post that Nolan had a reputation for being incredibly kind and was always equipped with a bright smile. Here's a picture that was pulled from a TikTok, because I looked at her TikTok before I came on, in which she was doing a Dyson Airwrap video. And that's the end result of her tutorial using the Dyson Airwrap. Just last month, the businesswoman celebrated a pop-up shop at Montauk's exclusive spa, the Gurney's Resort. Goals achieved, she captioned in a July 1 post on TikTok that showed off her swim eye and resort wear at the club. We just looked at that TikTok. Crime scene investigators remained at the Montauk Yacht Club late into the night with a van from the Suffolk County Crime Lab and a command post parked past 9 p.m. on Tuesday. The Suffolk County Police Homicide Squad is investigating the incident, according to the release. Here, my friends, is the Montauk Yacht Club. And this is what it looks like. Some overhead shots. This is directly from their website. It's a resort and a marina. So, for example, rooms at the Montauk Yacht Club, if you just wanted to go there, let's say this weekend, the 8th would be a 2-night minimum. And you're looking at $1,285 a night, including a $100 water club fee. And this is for a room that is approximately 317 square feet. That's the Montauk Yacht Club. Of course, it's high season right now. Here's the website for her clothing brand, East by East. It's been featured in Refinery 29, Elle Magazine, Condé Nast Traveler, and BuzzFeed. And it's cute swimsuits. I also make menswear. It's very Hamptons style. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here, Dougal. What up? Long time no see. Slip and fall drugs, we don't know. Was she poisoned? Was there a murder? We don't know. But I will tell you what I found this morning when I fell into my rabbit hole that nobody has mentioned in any of the articles. There's a pending divorce case. A guy named Sam Ryan filed for divorce from Martha early 2025. So that's just a side note. I haven't seen anybody report on that yet. Cute clothing brand. And of course, if you go to the Daily Mail, you're going to hear a whole different set of facts. about how the boat was a party boat, about how the guy who owns the boat was always hammered, and the guy who owns the boat is her boyfriend. She has some older posts on her TikTok with a guy, and I'm not sure if this is the guy she's divorcing or if this is the guy who's her current boyfriend, because they're also saying that the 911 call was made by her boyfriend, that he may or may not have been running around the docks naked, screaming, "It's my girlfriend." Hang tight for a second while I pull up those TikToks for you. If I could ever figure out how to use TikTok, it's gonna be really, really great. Okay, here we go. But this was posted back on Halloween. So here's a picture of Martha and a guy. I don't know if this is the guy. I don't know if this is the guy she's divorcing. I have no idea. But this is just what's on her TikTok. On what looks like, I don't know, private plane. Maybe. Here they are in a convertible. She's gorgeous, right? Maybe it's not a private. Well, that looks like, I don't know, a helicopter or a private plane of some kind, but she's living an Instagram perfect life, or a TikTok perfect life anyway. I don't know if that's the guy. We need to know who owns that boat named Ripple out of Long Beach. And here they are in a convertible. This is also from Halloween. And it's captioned, of course, the comments on TikTok, because you know the TikTok sleuths are all over it. Anyone know who he is? He did it. Anyone know who he is? If anybody can solve a crime, it's the people on TikTok. That was the Dyson Airwrap tutorial. She's a beautiful girl. She looks much younger to me than 33, but what do I know? I'm a lot older than 33. And this is an ad for her clothing brand. I don't know why they haven't named the owner of the boat. They're still investigating. You know, these things take time. It's only been a day, but we'll see what happens. Here's the Daily Mail. Fashion designer 33 celebrated launch of chic lifestyle brand at Ritzy Hamptons Resort before being found dead on boat at yacht club. A glamorous fashion designer who was found dead on a boat at a yacht club on Tuesday had recently celebrated the launch of her chic lifestyle brand at a Ritzy Hamptons Resort. Martha Nolan O'Slattera, 33, the founder of fashion label East by East, was discovered unconscious aboard a boat docked at the Montauk Yacht Club at around midnight. Good Samaritans attempted life-saving measures, but East Hampton Town Police pronounced her dead at the scene. Her manner of death remains unclear and will be determined by the Suffolk County Medical Examiner's Office. But one boater at the scene described the ship named Ripple as a party boat and told the Daily Mail she heard screams when the woman's body was found. See, that's different, right? It's different when they say people heard screams as if someone was being perhaps assaulted and or murdered, and screams when the body was found, because that's initially what I thought. And then it reads the same as the New York Post. It's almost like the New York Post pulled the Daily Mail story word for word. As Nolan O'Slattera fell unconscious Monday night, she said, the boat owner was seen running outside naked, screaming, "That's my girlfriend," as he tried to get help from other boaters. "We come here to Montauk every summer and nothing like this ever happens," the boater said. "The police have been here all day since 4 a.m. As the investigation continued into the early hours of Wednesday, police officers were seen stopping guests at the Montauk Yacht Club as the area was being cordoned off. But many in the upscale enclave continued their day as normal, lounging by the pool or dining at one of the yacht club's restaurants. They did not seem to have a care in the world, even as police officers and detectives in suits gathered on the docks. Violent crimes are unusual in the upscale Long Island beach and resort area that is known for its monstrous mansions and high-end dining. Influencers and celebrities often flock to the area, especially in the summer months. One boater at the scene described the ship, named Ripple. It's not a ship. If you had to guess, how big would you say that boat was? Like 28, maybe 30? It's not a ship and it's not a yacht. But, it's Long Island. One boater at the scene described the ship, named Ripple, as a party boat and told Daily Mail that she heard screams. As the investigation continued into the early hours of Wednesday, police officers were seen stopping guests at the Montauk Yacht Club as the area was being cordoned off. Violent crimes are unusual in the upscale Long Island beach and resort area that is known for its monstrous mansions and high-end dining. Here's some more pictures of the Montauk Yacht Club. The Montauk Yacht Club offers those beachgoers luxurious accommodations, including spa services, a pool, beach, harbor cruises, maybe also biking and yoga. Rooms at the famed club run for about $1,500 in the summertime and around $865 during other months. Celebrity makeup artist Patrick Ta even hosted an event there this past weekend that included a star-studded guest list, including influencers Alex Earl and Remy Bader. I don't know who Remy Bader is. I think I know who Alex Earl is. Photos showed the glamorous influencers looking sun-kissed as they enjoyed cocktails and food at the yacht club. They were also seen overlooking the breathtaking marina, which has now become a crime scene. There's no indication that the events hosted at the club this weekend are connected to the discovery on Tuesday morning. It's a fishing boat with a cabin. I don't know if there's a cabin. I did not feel the earthquake, Lisa. Did not feel the earth. There was 2 earthquakes here in 2 days. I think they were both in New Jersey, and I did not feel either one of them. Did any of you? I wanted to show you gurneys. So it seems like she spent her summers in the Hamptons and she lived in New York City. Let's take a look at what the rooms go for, gurneys, because if you're not from here, you might be shocked. Here is gurneys. All kinds of stuff. A massage, a 60-minute massage will set you back about $258. And if you wanted to book a room at Gurney's, let's say, because I think they're sold out this weekend. If you wanted to go, let's say next weekend, 15th, 16th, I think it's a 3-night minimum at Gurney's. See what it would set you back. For 3 nights, an Ocean View King will run you $5,339 for just a regular room, but it has an ocean view. $780 per night. They also have a beautiful spa and many, many, many other amenities. Rest in peace, Martha Nolan. There was some more stuff posted on Instagram. I know. It's crazy. I wouldn't say that it's worth it for 3 nights. You can go to Bermuda for less, in my opinion. Some of her friends started posting some tributes to her on Instagram. One of them is the co-founder of her brand. This was posted in the New York Post. His name is Dylan Grace, and he put a nice photo montage in here. And it says, "We dreamed big together, laughed harder than anyone else could understand, and built so much from nothing. I'm truly blessed and grateful to have had you in my life. Love you so much, Mar. Fly high, girl." So sad. These beautiful pictures. The autopsy is completed, says Teacup Pug. Well, I read it earlier in the press release from Suffolk County PD that they said that there was no, they don't think there's any violence involved, but they did not say what the cause of death was, did they? Did they release that yet, Teacup Pug? Little the good dog would much rather go to a nice hotel in Cancun. So sad. Sarah Brown said, "I thought the reason to own a boat with a cabin was to just get a slip instead of a room. But what do I know?" Oh, yes, but many people go to the resort without a boat who don't have a boat. So you can get a slip and stay on your boat. But you can also, if you don't have a boat, you can just go get a room out there in Montauk, which is the furthest tip of Long Island. Used to be, like totally hip, where all the surfers would hang out. It was always less expensive than the rest of the Hamptons. It's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. Indy Cindy says, "We need to know who owns the yacht." Thanks, Melanie. Agreed. Well, we saw the guy in the TikToks. I don't know if he's got anything to do with it. And the man that she's divorcing, his name is Sam Ryan. I found out that much, but that's public record. I don't know. Because that was posted all the way back in October, so I don't know how old or how long she's had this boyfriend. Anybody local? Anybody know any info? Lola said, "If they heard screaming the night before, how come no one called 911? Well, they did. The boyfriend called 911, I believe, at the time. So I think they heard him screaming when he found the body, and then he called 911 right away. So that's a good point. I don't know how many 911 calls there were, but I do believe that he called 911 right where he found them, right when he found her. But again, there's not a lot of information on this. Gigi is here. She's engraving the silver bracelets right now, and she's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Not a whole lot of information on here, but I wanted to get it to you quickly so that we can follow this one. Toxicology does take a while, says No Love of the Traveling Trooper. You're correct about that. That's for sure. Here's well, this is interesting. Here's an Irish public broadcast service. I wonder if they're going to strike me for this. Well, I'm going to play it anyway because I love to watch news reports from other countries. So let's check this out. This is RTE News, which is an Irish public broadcast service. And this is a story from only 1 hour ago. They posted this. Thank you, Gigi. And welcome to the 10 new members. After this show is over at 7, we're going to teleport over to the next show with me, which is going to be some more information of on Norfolk County, Massachusetts, and the fallout from the Karen Read case. So sit tight.
Police in New York are continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding the death of an Irish woman on board a boat which was docked at a yacht club on Long Island in New York. 33-year-old Martha Nolan O'Slattera, a fashion designer from Carlow, had been living in Manhattan for a number of years.
In the early hours of Tuesday morning, a 911 call was made by a man to police, alerting them to an incident on Long Island. The incident was in Montauk, a popular beach town around 3 hours' drive from New York City. Emergency services arrived at Montauk Yacht Club, where a woman was found unconscious on board a boat. She was pronounced dead a short time later. The woman was named as Martha Nolan O'Slattera. Originally from County Carlow, she'd been living in New York for around 10 years. In a statement, police said the preliminary investigation and exam were inconclusive regarding the cause of her death, which will be determined by an autopsy. They also appealed for anyone with information to contact them. The Department of Foreign Affairs said it's aware of the case and is providing consular assistance. The UCT graduate was a fashion designer and entrepreneur. In her latest TikTok post, she was celebrating her brand's pop-up store on the beach in the Hamptons. A spokesperson from the Montauk Yacht Club said they are saddened to learn of this tragic incident that took place and are cooperating with the police investigation. Karen Creed, RT News.
Our reporter Yvonne Murray joins us now from Long Island. And Yvonne, what's the latest you're able to tell us about this incident tonight?
Love the accent.
Well, the latest, Ray, is that we're still waiting to hear when that post-mortem examination is going to take place. But for the moment, the cause of death remains unknown. Now, last year, the Martha Nolan O'Slattera gave an interview to the Irish Independent newspaper. And in that, she described herself as a small town girl who needed to get out there and achieve big dreams. And indeed, she had seen great success here on Long Island, where some of America's most exclusive resorts are. She had launched her line of exclusive swimwear. And indeed, in that latest TikTok post, she said that it was goals achieved. Well, today, Taoiseach Micheál Martin added his voice to those expressing sympathy. And he said that it was an absolutely devastating blow to the family. He described her as a young, beautiful, very talented, creative woman, and his thoughts and prayers are with the family, he said. Now, that investigation is ongoing, Ray, and of course we will bring updates as soon as we receive them.
Okay, Yvonne in Long Island, thank you.
She got a good assignment, getting to come to Long Island for that. Rest in peace, Martha. That's really, I'm not trying to make jokes. Just sometimes that's the way many of us deal with, very sad and traumatic things, is to make jokes. So no disrespect meant. Here's a News 4 New York story from about 8 hours ago.
We go to Long Island now, where there's a mystery on Montauk. A woman's body was found today on a boat docked at the upscale Montauk Yacht Club. Just shocking news to those who live nearby. News 4's Greg Circle live in Montauk with the latest on this investigation. Greg.
Natalie, Suffolk police have set up an investigative command post here at the Montauk Yacht Club. Homicide detectives were called here around 4 o'clock this morning, but so far they've yet to say what may have happened to the woman who was found dead. The Suffolk police investigation here at the Montauk Yacht Club has now stretched through the day. Homicide detectives are trying to determine what happened to a woman whose body was found early this morning on a boat in the yacht club's marina.
We woke up this morning and there was a ton of police presence. You could see out into the marina and you could see the yellow tape partitioning off the boat.
Pam Muller was staying at the yacht club's hotel and calls the scene there scary. Police have yet to say if foul play is involved, explaining only that the manner and cause of the female victim's death have not been determined.
It's such a chill resort. It's such a chill atmosphere. You never see anything remotely like this. So it was unnerving.
The Montauk Yacht Club's website calls its marina the largest in the Hamptons, sitting on 16 acres along Lake Montauk. It hosts boats ranging from everyday cruisers to 300-foot-long super yachts. Downtown Montauk is about 3 miles away, now bustling with tourists enjoying the height of the summer season. Word of this mystery comes as a big surprise to those like Jessica Miller, who like to escape here.
So you just think of Montauk as, a happy place. Yeah, and people come out here to vacation, spend their time with their family. It's just a very small, quaint, safe town.
Now, the Montauk Yacht Club has not responded to our request for comment, and I reached out to Suffolk Police just a few minutes ago, and they said right now there's no update on their investigation. We're live in Montauk. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
We go to Long Island.
I know Greg Sergel very well because when I did all the cases against the Catholic Church here on Long Island, he was the reporter that was handling that. And I did so many stories with him back in the day. I mean, that goes back to 2002. He's been around a long time, and so have I. And the Suffolk County Police have just recently updated their press release to say that there's no evidence of violence discovered in the autopsy. So, yeah, thank God the MSP are not involved, right? All the articles now say, yep, no signs of violence. They say that now. That was just updated like 20 minutes ago. I love the traveling trooper. How long was the boat there? Boyfriend's name? Was there drinking? So many questions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So many questions. Is it drugs? I don't know. The Google exec. It reminds me of a case of a woman. I don't know. There's so many cases. I can't even tell them apart anymore. But it's not often that these things happen out there in Montauk. Do you remember the case of Ted Amon? Anybody remember that case? Oh my God, I got to look that up though. How many years ago was that? Ted Amon was a really, really rich guy who was he was murdered in 2001. Wow, that's how long ago that was. By an electrician named Daniel Pelosi. He was married to Generosa Ammon. They were in the middle of a divorce. And later, Pelosi was linked to Ammon. Do you guys remember that? Where was that? That was somewhere in the Hamptons. Yeah. The Long Island serial killer was, it's recent because he was finally just arrested. Those cases go back at least to 1992. The last one, I think, was in 2010. So doesn't happen. We'll be following this one closely. And Lemonade Pickett says, my father's family grew up in Saltaire. That's Fire Island. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Love me some Fire Island. Thank you to Jonas, who says that he used to work at a club in West Hampton called La Ronde and Montauk. I know La Ronde. It recently got bought and it's been made into something else. Thank you, Jonas, for that. If it is foul play, we will still continue to cover. Thank you, Jonas, for that. She might have slipped and hit her head. That could be true too. Mother of men. I mean, the initial reports did say that she was unresponsive. Not that there had been any injury or not that, she could, I don't know. Possible accidental overdose. Same district attorney from Montauk asked for Rex Sherman. That is right. It is part of Suffolk County. That means Ray Tierney is the district attorney. You are correct, Patty. It's an alleged party boat, right? An alleged party boat. Listen, there's a lot of partying that goes on in the Hamptons. There's also another report that came out today in Newsday for those of you who are local about a lot of trafficking going on and drug running. And they're all coming in that way on boats in the Hamptons. Hello, Tom Gillett Golf Instruction. How are you today? Margaret says it's possible she has an anaphylactic episode. Hey, Cass. Hey. Very, very sad story. Yeah, the screams could have been when they found her dead. That's what I was thinking. That whoever came upon her body started screaming for help. It was only midnight, so I don't know. Right? And they say the guy that was running around naked. Lola says, seems strange that she might be on the boat with her boyfriend and he didn't know what happened. That's true too. I'm sure he's being questioned by the Suffolk County detectives. And now that the autopsy is done, we're going to say, but even if it is drugs, they've been charging a lot of people for providing drugs to people that have wound up killing them. So we'll see. We will not speculate. Could have been a brain aneurysm. Could have been a lot of things. Lady Laura says, I don't want to speculate, but I think we'd know by now if it was foul play. I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know if we would. It's been, a little more. It's been 24 hours, not even. No, I guess 24 hours. It was the 5th, say a little 36 hours, almost 48 hours. So I don't know if we would know. All they said was that there's no indication of violence. They didn't say no foul play. They said no indication of violence. And that's what we do. We work with facts. Shannon says, I may be jaded for saying this, but I wonder if she would get as much attention if she was not a pretty, wealthy white woman. Well, I will tell you that I don't remember the last time that there was a murder or a dead body found in Montauk. And I don't know what you're getting at there, but I cover all kinds of cases for all kinds of races and people from all walks of life and all parts of the country, including places that I don't live, like Arkansas and Oklahoma and Kansas. So there's that. Maybe her ex hired a hitman, says Alicia. I know. Yeah, and it's also because there's no crime in Montauk. There's no crime. Do you remember, oh, sweetie, no, they just recently started allowing Uber into Montauk. You used to have to call a cab company until very, very recently. They did not even allow you to get an Uber. And everything is now, if you follow Bethany Frankel, you'll know, because she's out there a lot and she's mad because everything is bottle service now. You can't even go in and get a drink anywhere, right? You can't just go get a drink. Everything is bottle service. Like the Surf Lodge used to be like the surfer bar where people would just go and it was very cash. Not like that anymore. Navy Beach is another place that's very cool out of Montauk. And KT says an OD can still be foul play if it was given to her without her knowledge. That is true. That is true. The divorce was not final. It was actually, I looked it up. It was actually just filed in March of 2025. So it was new. Could be carbon monoxide on a boat. Says Rusty Bulvar. Could be a lot of things. So we don't want to speculate. I don't want to disparage her memory or anything. She's a beautiful girl living a beautiful life. And it's very, very tragic. And her friends are very, very, very sad. And prayers up for the family and friends. Martha Nolan. Very sad. No children. They didn't say anything about children. So I do not believe that she had any children. Yeah, it is. It's very hoity-toity out there in the Hamptons. That's where all the, the housewives hang out and a lot of celebrities out there. All right. I had a whole show for you tomorrow on Mick Patel. He was the guy who was shopping at Walmart who was charged with kidnapping because a woman who had her baby and another kid on her lap while she was riding around on one of those like scooters inside Walmart. The baby started to fall off of her lap and he grabbed her baby, and Ashley Merchant was defending him. But I heard that they just dismissed the charges. So there's that. I heard they just dismissed the charges on Mick Patel, which is great, which is amazing. But now I have to figure out what we're going to cover tomorrow because I had planned a whole show on that for tomorrow. I love Ashley Merchant. Those charges were totally bogus, but they dropped the charges. They dropped them. Done. Out. Squeeta. Gone. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So if you're interested in this, we are going to continue to follow. But in the meantime, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to teleport you over to the 7 p.m. stream. And we are going on over to talk about what happened today in Norfolk County and the massive dump of discovery upon Rosemary Scapicchio, because of course, Justin Sweet says, members of the Montauk Yacht Club, including some captains, heard screaming from the docks late Monday, one club member told the Post. Yes, you're correct. We also have found out that was when the body was found. I thought perhaps there was an assault in progress, but it has since been clarified. And we will wait with bated breath to find out what the conclusion of this case is. Whether anyone will be charged, whether there's any criminality involved here, or whether this is just a tragic accident. But things like this don't really happen out east, and so it's unusual. Margaret says, we buried a mom and her kids in County Clare last week. Her hubby killed them in Maguire's Bridge in Northern Ireland, and now this poor lass. I know, so sad. Karen says, so they hadn't given Rosemary everything. Nope. They sure haven't. And that is what we're going to go do now because I got the papers. I got the papers. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns before we wrap this show and move on to the second. I thought that Martha deserved her own show. And so I'm going to, rather than continue the show, we're going to just teleport on over. Thanks again, Gigi. We're going to teleport on over and start covering that now because it's Wednesday night. And what else are you doing? You're already here. All right, everyone hit the like button together. Buckle your seatbelts because I'm going to teleport you over there. I'm going to go fill up my drink. Go fill up your drink. Get your popcorn. And also, the police chief of Massachusetts State Police says there's no way in hell Proctor's getting his job back. So you don't want to miss that. Come on over. Come with me, if you will. Back to Norfolk County in 3, 2. Please do all the things YouTube likes. Share the stream out. Hit the like button. Subscribe. It's free. We're going to continue to cover this because I'm interested in it. And I hope that you are too. Prayers up for the family and friends of Martha Nolan. And hopefully we'll find out more about this case very, very soon. Buckle your seatbelts, my friends, in 3, 2, 1. Peace out.